The burning question of today's episode: does Lamar Jackson sound off on John Harbaugh? Is our quarterback, QB1, just as fed up with John Harbaugh as we all are? We'll talk about it. Curious to hear your opinion. You're going to hear mine. Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. Thanks so much for joining me. We've been growing a ton over the last month and a half, and I'm so appreciative of every single one of you guys that have joined the channel. But let's keep it going. We're only on, week 4 of the NFL season? We got 13 more weeks of this. And then, of course, 52 after that and 52 after that, because I'm here every day, every single week, all year long. Currently, we're at 18,593 subs. Next milestone is 18,600. We're 7 subs away. We are 407 subs away from 19K. So subscribe to the channel, join the family. Let's keep growing, and let's get into today's video. I don't know if you guys saw this exact clip that I've got on the screen right now. We're not going to play it for you because we don't own it. Fox owns it. But does Lamar Jackson call out John Harbaugh on it? This was his post-game interview right after the Cowboys game. And man, if he would have gotten interviewed in the third quarter, I don't think he would have said some of the things he said. But he got interviewed right after the end of the game when he had to convert a first down because the Cowboys scored 19 unanswered in the fourth quarter. And this is what he had to say. He said, "Man, the game's not over till it's 0-0 on the clock. I didn't like how things were going towards the end, I thought we should have put more points on the board. We should have put gas on the pedal when we were up 28-6. Should have put gas on the pedal when we were up 28-6. Is he calling out John Harbaugh there? Is he calling out Todd Monken there? I think he might be. I'll give you more of my opinion in just a little bit, but I want to hear from you guys. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. You're about to get hit with YouTube ad breaks. Make that time go down faster. Go down in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. It can be a Y or an N. So here's my take on this. I don't necessarily think that he's calling out John Harbaugh. I don't think there's malice and harm intent behind the things that he's saying. But I do think that he might be trying to send a message to him. Right? I think that he might be saying, look, we've got to finish these games. I think Lamar is as frustrated with the end of these games as we are. And why shouldn't he be? He's the one that every loss gets blamed on anyway because he's the quarterback. And yeah, sometimes, like the end of that Chiefs game, he might have missed a couple open receivers. But it wasn't his fault yesterday the Cowboys scored 19 unanswered, right? But I don't think he's necessarily calling out John Harbaugh. I don't think there's malice involved in this, but I do think he's trying to send a message. However, I do agree with the sentiment of what he's saying. I do believe that the gas pedal should be pushed down even when you're up 28-6. I believe in burying your opponents. I believe in nails in coffins. But I don't know if that applies to this game against the Cowboys. I don't know if it does. And I'll get in more into that in just a little bit. Before we do, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Fanatics. Guys, Derrick Henry was absolutely phenomenal on Sunday against the Cowboys. And if you want to rock his jersey or his jersey, or if you're a woman and want to rock his jersey or his jersey, head over to fanatics.com. More importantly, chatsports.com/King Henry. Free shipping right now on everything Derrick Henry. Guys, he's going to keep stacking games. He's going to go ham against the Bills. He's going to go ham against the Bengals. So now is the best time to rock for the King, to wear his jersey, to wear his shirt. So head over to chatsports.com/King Henry to get absolutely dripped out. So here's what I'm talking about when I said that I agree with the sentiment, but it might not make sense with this Cowboys game. Because after 28-6, right? After that happened, here were the drives in subsequent order. There was a punt on the drive right after, but 2 penalties on the offensive line. One was a holding, one was illegal hands to the face. We all know that derails drives, right? So that's not necessarily John Harbaugh or Todd Monken's fault. The next one, really long drive. You set up for only a 46-yard field goal, and Justin Tucker misses it, right? And I know when you're up 28-6, because at that point, you're still up 28-6, every one of us is kicking that field goal there, right? Missed field goal. Then The botched onside kick recovery right after that. Again, not John Harbaugh or Todd Monken's fault. And then after that, you punted. However, you passed the ball on 3rd and 3. You ran the ball in the first 2 plays, got 7 yards on it. It's 3rd and 3. I feel like not putting the pedal down, not putting the nail in the coffin, would have just been to hand it off again. But they didn't. They passed it. They risked it a little bit. Was an incompletion, punted it away. Cowboys scored again. But those are all the things that happened. So I don't think it's in the same vein as it was against the Raiders game. But this is still a problem, right? This is still a big problem. And I talked about it yesterday. I used this exact same chart yesterday because I think it perfectly shows what it's been like following this team this year and through their quarter scoring, right? First quarter opens up with a bang. Second quarter, fine, not the best. Third quarter, Fourth quarter, you're dead in the water, right? Minus 22 in scoring in the fourth quarter of this season. And if you look at this stat, the NFL and CBS tweeted after you lost to the Raiders, and you look at the company that you hold with the Bears, the Colts, and the Titans, this is the most losses with a 7 or more point lead in the fourth quarter of the last 4 seasons. And the Ravens got 10 of them. 10. They've got 4 more than the next best person. They've got double the 3 next, right behind the Bears. And so this is a problem. But what scares me about this whole situation when you talk about Lamar and his postgame, and again, I don't think he necessarily was saying, John Harbaugh, you're an idiot. But it seems that the players might be just as frustrated with the coach as we are. Okay? And there's a good thing about that and the fact that Eric DeCosta might see it and might do something about it. But there's a bad thing about it because that can tend to derail an entire season. And when you've got as much talent as the Ravens do, you don't want to waste seasons. But what am I talking about, Joey? Because it's not just Lamar Jackson. It's Zay Flowers, too. We talked about this last Wednesday. Zay Flowers retweeted this tweet the Monday after the game against the Raiders. Tweet saying, 2nd week in a row that he's had a big first half, and they stopped getting him the ball in the second. So Zay Flowers is upset with some of the coaching decisions. Lamar Jackson might be upset with some of the coaching decisions. And it's good that they've got fire in them. Hopefully it spurns on change. But there is a little bit of me that's kind of nervous what this might do to a locker room. But at the end of the day, I don't think this is necessarily anything to get too dramatic about, to make that big of a deal. Because, I still think they love Coach Harbaugh. I do. And as much as we might not, I think the players love playing for him. But they've got to figure out the fourth quarter. I'm looking to see a difference against the Bills on Sunday Night Football. So what's your concern with the team chemistry? Scale it for me 1 to 10 in the comment section. I think after last week with Zay Flowers and that post-game interview with Lamar Jackson, I'm probably sitting about like a 6.5. It's on the radar, but it's not that much. You let me know in the comment section down below. Before we go, let's get a little look around the AFC North. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-0. They just beat the Chargers on Sunday. Cleveland lost against... Oh, God, they lost against the Giants. That is bad. Oh, gosh. They're 1-2. And then the Cincinnati Bengals are 0-3 after a loss on Monday Night Football against Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. That's who the Ravens play week 6. That might not be as easy as a W as you thought it'd be. Let's take a look at what the percentage numbers are for each team to win the division. Steelers, after jumping up to 3-0 and the Ravens dropping those first 2 games, they jump off to a 53% chance to win the division. Ravens in second with a 28% chance. Bengals, even after starting 0-3, they're higher than the Browns with 13%, and the Browns have less than a 6% chance to win the AFC North. That's our video today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get us to 18,600. More importantly, let's try to get to 19K. Y'all have a fantastic day.